Welcome. Sorry I was late, Christine. If you're still there, I'm here now. I kind of got lost in time. But I'm here. Working on a mountain path. Coming on almost an hour late. Is it pixelated? No, it looks like it's good. Looks like I got a good stream here going on. Oh, my moderator just arrived. Which is me. So as a signal to the algorithm, I've been on just a moment. This live is a live watercolor painting. I am getting ready to do an art fair on, setup is on November 6th, which is a week from Thursday. I have roughly 50 to 60 small paintings to do between like now and Friday, plus a couple other paintings. And this is kind of a semi-new design. It's a takeoff on the Lonely Highway, but this is just like a walk up the mountain path. And so instead of this being a road surface highway, it'll be like a grassy, sort of a rocky, rocky pathway. No telephone poles. Maybe we'll add some trees in. Something like that. But I don't think I'm going to do that. We're going for the quick and easy, and then we'll probably see how it turns out, and we'll just go bam, bam, and on to the next one. So right now I'm just adding some base colors down, and I'll start building up from there. I'm not really going off of any reference images, because I don't want my mind to be muddied by what I've done before. I want a fresh start, and so we're doing on a fresh imagining. Even though I have painted this image probably 20 times so far, but this is how you do it. You make sure you like the image. Make sure you like my content, please, if you're looking in. So we got some green over here. I'm just gonna just put it in there. Maybe we'll take some of this blue and add it into this green and make a slightly different color. Then the question then becomes, is this what kind of scene is in the skyline? Is it going to be like a sunny, like a sunny day? Is it a sunset? Is it like kind of, it's getting dark? I don't know. I'm kind of decide. I haven't decided yet. I think I want to have some darker tones here. Maybe we'll come in and with this burnt umber. And add a little bit of, just a little bit of red tones to the hillside. You're just kind of like an image of like you're walking down a path. You're walking towards the mountains. That's kind of where we're at. Just walking along. I'm going to just kind of dot the color in. I still like learning how this paper works and how it behaves. It is supposedly 100% cotton. I'm going to put this color in. Let's go put it on the road, this path. It almost like reminds me of I'm like in the Shire. I mean, that's what I'm feeling right now. When I'm looking into this, I'm on a journey, you know, like this guy. You just got out of a cave. You're just kind of looking in, begging for spare change, doing the wrong thing, you know, stuff like that. On a journey. I want the pathway to be contrastly different from this, but right now we're going to go in and work on the sky. If you're new here, don't forget to push the like button. I'm going to darken things up a bit in the road. Use the burnt umber, and I guess this other was the burnt sienna and burnt umber. You know, just brown, different shades of brown. Maybe it's got like some rocks or something in the journey. Maybe we'll take some darker colors, kind of put them in here as well. Shadows. We got some shadows coming in. Yeah, okay. Come in here. This is a Payne's Gray. And I'm going to go mix some Prussian blue right into that Payne's Gray. Or we're not. Maybe we'll just go in over here with some of this Prussian blue. I kind of want to put that in on the mountains. Blue mountains. you know, snow caps over in that far distance. As you're getting towards the misty mountains, huh? I wonder how my friend is doing. Nobody looking in. No one watching in. Kind of darken things up a bit over here, so you can see that the so maybe we'll make it more like a sunset image. Darken here. Light there, dark there. Okay, I got it. I got it. I understand now. I understand what we're doing. Feel free to pop into the chat and say hello, should you desire. I'm going to come in and take some of this permanent yellow here. And I want to put just a little bit of light into the road along this surface here. I'm going to put it in here. Like maybe there's some water in this ditch here. Maybe a little bit of light over here. Maybe just like a few little spots too, like puddles of water, light, adding kind of light into it. Interesting. I'm gonna go grab another brush altogether. I have my brushes right over here. I have a lot of different of my tools. My rosary. It's funny, I like that rosary, but I'm not so sure about Catholic doctrine anymore. I don't know what I think. You know, things start to change after a while. You gain new perspectives on everything. And that's okay. You learn, you reflect, you study, and other things start to make sense, and things don't, and other things start to not make sense. So we're gonna come up with some colors that are far up there, high up in the sky. I think that this burnt sienna makes a nice sky color. I'm trying to get a feel like there, maybe these are just clouds that have been excited by photons in the sky. Some darker colors. I think I also want to go in and yeah, let's go in and take that other brush and pull out some of that ultramarine blue. whatever goes on, we don't want the colors to turn into any green. We don't want green in the sky, anything like that. So we add with these, there is a bit of yellows in that burnt sienna where you could end up possibly getting some green in your sky. What is that down there? So far, it doesn't look like it's adding any green in the sky. So we're making a sunset of some kind. You get the energy, just a side to side energy. Here, just a lot of this blue, kind of like the, let me give it a cloud effect, so it's not like an oppressive. I don't want it to have this oppressive feeling. And we got this blanket of darkness that's descending down on everything. And let's come over to this Prussian blue here. I'm going to put that up here too, out there. Maybe some of this red. Just kind of get some kind of a purplish effect. Permanent red. Darkness. Darkness is descending on your journey through the mountain path, on your way to the misty mountains. Hobbits, just wee hobbits on a journey, an adventure that you're just very reluctant to engage upon. At least that's what my tarot cards told me of where I was at, in a place of reluctancy to move forward. Kind of brings out some dark purpley colors. What's going on here, where the color is like starting to wash out, I don't want that to happen, so we'll be very careful bringing the brush across. Maybe we'll take some of this permanent red and we'll mix it in with these colors over here and bring it in here. There we go. Need to get rid of this gum. I haven't been using gum that often anymore. There we go. Getting hungry. I mean, I had a lot to eat. I guess I didn't have a whole lot of protein. Had a lot of fiber. Anyways, I just wanted to share with you guys the progress I'm making towards the art fair, which is coming up next week. Yesterday I took like 10 pieces of art anyway to the store that sells my art, plus a painting. Now I'm going to come in and maybe we'll put some of this red in here. Let that blend in. Just going to put the brush over here, and I want to come in and bring some more light and put some light in the sky. Some yellow colors, like, you know, maybe the sun was shining. It's like right on the horizon here. It's where all the light is at, kind of wrapping itself around on my misty mountains in the background. Some places here and get the colors to go in and become kind of a warmer orangey colors and so forth. We want to make sure we just don't touch that blue, because then we're gonna get green in the sky, and that's we don't want green. We don't want a green sky. It's such interesting dreams. I wonder what they meant. And if you haven't caught the talk that I had with Tarot Ask Backwards on Thursday, you should go back and watch that. That was a good, illuminating conversation. I'll be talking, at least for the time being, maybe once a week or once every other week, be talking with Tarot Ask Backwards about things of interest, the apocalypse, what all that means. Of course, to me, it means something totally different than what it means to Jeff, to Tarot Ask Backwards. I'm all about cycles. I'm all about taking on a more academic, an academic approach to apocalyptic literature and all of that stuff. Or just the whole history of the fact that how many times has somebody predicted the end of the world and it's just not happened. Kind of up there, some nice orangey colors. Bringing it in there. Get the purples, the oranges, the yellows. Just to build a nice skyline. Travel siblings, welcome, welcome. I'm glad that you were able to come today. I've been kind of really busy of late. Busy trying to get the stuff together for, like family stuff and taking a little break from YouTube, a little break. And stuff like that. The road's not, it kind of looks rocky, and that's the way I kind of want it to be, like you're walking on a rocky road here, on this pathway to the misty mountains. And what do? I need to stick this thing up a little further that way, like that. Maybe I take this You Matter sign and you put it over here. All right. Where are we at? What color am I at now? Oh, yellow. And kind of bringing that in onto the surface here. Different colors in here. I think I'll put a tree or two in there. I think that would be nice. Don't you think that would be good? A tree? If you're walking up a mountain path, there would be trees, right? Of course. Of course there'd be trees. So we got to put trees in here, and put a little of this light, kind of right on the surface of this path too. Kind of rocky, it's what it is. Travel siblings. I did some when I was at my volunteer job yesterday. I did do AI poetry, but I did it on my. I do have a TikTok channel, but it's new, and I've been using it more like an experimental place, a place to experiment with stuff, rather than do I want people to go on over there to TikTok and follow me. That's not really what I'm seeking there. I'm not there all that often, and kind of doing more experimental shorts, and maybe like how I used to do shorts on this channel like 2 years ago. Some of that kind of stuff going on, some of that energy, and maybe we'll come back in here with the blue. I'm just gonna dot that in here. Maybe it's got some flowers or something, bushes that are kind of bluish, darker stuff, and kind of bring that up. Maybe get some different greeny colors. But I was doing the AI poetry while I was having a quiet day at the store that sells my art. I did a live stream on this channel from there, and showed the I've done live streams from this channel in that space multiple times. Oh no, I'm using my calm voice. I'm just sort of. It's rainy. I'm not really down. Oh, I sound down. Okay, well, maybe a little down. That could be. I'm okay. I mean, I'm not depressed or anything. Oh, the sun came out. Oh, there's wild turkeys in my backyard. Huh. Yeah, but okay. That's nice. But I'm okay. Thanks for asking, though. I'm gonna put some of this red in there. And maybe it's like some flowers. Some flowers. I think the skyline's good. I like the sky like that. And I do think I need to add some trees in. What do you think? A tree or two? A tree up here on the path as you're coming in. You have this warm field of... Oh, good. I'm glad you like the painting. I'm hungry, though. Maybe I need to, like, go into my Halloween candy. Go into the stuff that's for the trick-or-treaters that may or may not come. Kind of like that. Oh, maybe we'll have some over here. Some reddish colors. Just kind of dotted in. What's this sort of... Here we go. We'll just move it up, mush it around. Some kind of a hedgerow of some kind. Go add some blue to it so it makes it more, what, purpley? Some yellow? More orangey, maybe? Yeah, I don't know. Let's just thin it down, though. Thin that. Ooh, we make that water run on that surface, and maybe I am kind of down. Now that you think about it. There we go. Now, let's see. We're going to let that dry a little bit. So we're going to do a tree. Maybe this is too wet to run anything in here. So we'll just go in and... How's that? Is that dry up enough? It's not dry enough to go... The water's just still standing on the surface. I guess I need the hair dryer, don't I? Where's that at? I don't know. No hair dryer. We'll just fan. We'll use a fan. Oh, I know what we'll do. We're just going to pause here. We'll pause here and do an AI poem. How about that? I'm gonna let this dry, and I'm gonna do an AI poem. Do I have any? What do I have here? Okay. Write a poem in the style of Walt Whitman meets Big Papa E, using these prompt words. Traveling with your siblings, you matter. An old woman begs for spare change. Get off your soapbox, man. This painting looks good. You look down. Are you depressed? The sky is gloomy outside. Apples fall down rotten. A wild turkey runs around the house chasing an oddball. And let the last line be, why does this poem suck so bad? Am I boring? Let's see what happens. Traveling with their siblings home, O sacred caravan of hand-me-down laughter and leftover grudges, you matter, yes you do, even when the highway forgets your name, even when your reflection in the gas station window looks like a ghost of your teenage self, still wondering who left the map behind. An old woman begs for spare change outside the grocery store. Her hands are cracked with prayers, her eyes 2 dimes of tired starlight. And I want to say something holy, but all I can think of is, Get off your soapbox, man. As if humility were a luxury item sold by the pound. This painting looks good, the one with the crooked barn and the melting sky where the clouds hang like unwashed sheets of memory. And you look down. Someone asks, "Are you depressed?" And you don't know how to answer without sounding poetic or pathetic because the sky is gloomy outside and even the apples are falling down rotten, rolling under pickup trucks like failed ideas from the tree of youth. A wild turkey runs around the house chasing an oddball dream of flight, flapping against the impossible, and I think, yeah, maybe we're all just birds trying to take off the rain, pretending we're not soaked to the soul. And so I ask myself again, as my words stumble out and my metaphors cough for air, why does this poem suck so bad? Am I that boring? Thank you for coming in, Domino. Remember Hawk? Yeah, I think I remember Hawk. Let's see if the Chat GDP can rewrite this poem and make it more punchy. Rewrite the poem, make it more punchy, spicy, and form it into a 3-minute long slam poem. Let's see what it does. Okay, let's do this again. All right, let's try it again. Rewrite the poem. Write the poem into a 3-minute fast-paced slam poem. Slam poem in the style of Walt Whitman meets Big Papa E. Big Papa E. All right, here we go. Rebirth him and he's me. Okay. All right, so what we got here is home. Traveling with your siblings, yeah. 3 in the back seat, elbow wars, gas station Cheetos, a mixtape of maybe made memories and bad decisions. We're rolling into the land of tomorrow, shouting out the window, "You matter, you fool," and mean it like a battle cry, like that gospel of the roadside of "You matter, you dirty-souled, road-dusted, wide-eyed wanderer. You matter even when the GPS says recalculating." And there she is, an old woman begging for spare change by the Safeway. Her voice, the sound of an empty cup in America. She says, "God bless you. You matter. You matter to me." And I swear the sky bends down just to hear her speak. And then some guy, some dude with a beard and a philosophy mirror says, "Get off your goddamn soapbox, man." And I'm like, "Brother, this is the soapbox. This is my soapbox, and I am on it. And this world, This is the only place we got to stand, man. That painting looks good. No, not good, but righteous. Righteous. Right. Paint drips like tears from the brush of creation. And I say, look at that light crawling out of the frame like it's been caged too long. Look down, somebody whispers. You look depressed, man. And I say, hell yeah, but I'm still alive enough to name it. Still alive enough to rhyme it. And still alive enough to turn the ache into art. The sky is gloomy out, gray like tired, gray like God's laundry day. Gray like God's laundry day. Apples fall down rotten, smacking the earth like second chances. And somewhere in the chaos, a wild turkey runs around your house, chasing an oddball dream into a fight. That bird's got heart. That bird's got hustle. That bird is like all of us, trapped in the grind of the day, trying to take off feathers, trying to take off while the rain laughs in our feathers. And I am here. You are there, standing in my socks on the sticky floor of existence, mouth full of metaphors, heart of static, spitting words into the wind like the gospel of graffiti, trying to make something matter before the mic cuts out. So I drop the last line in like a confession, like a dare to the gods of rhythm and breath. Why does this poem suck so bad? Am I boring? All I hear is silence. I grin into that silence because that means you felt it. You felt how boring this moment is, reflecting back at you when you look into the mirror. All right. I think this is dry enough now that I can put a tree in. Yeah, it is dry enough now. Great. A poetic break here. Interesting. Okay, what are we going to use? I think we're going to go in and use some golden acrylics to do this. I will come and use a liner brush. Oh, looks like my mod's back. Come back to say hello, hello, hello. How are you today? And this is like glued shut. All right. I think it looks nice. We're going to put that in, and we'll see how it does. I'm just going to put this tree, kind of a lone tree, kind of up here. It's going to come on down to there, maybe. Do I need some black? Maybe I need some black. WJL-Show. Like and subscribe if you like my content. If not, that's fine too. We've got a lot of crap going on, a lot of stuff going on here. What do you think of that AI poetry? Do you think that I feel like there's something lacking in the in the writing. It lacks something. There's an edge to it. It's a hard edge. AI can't write poetry. That's what it is, ain't it? But it isn't really AI, is it? Is it AI? Is ChatGPT, is that AI? Is it real intelligence? Or is it just a monkey just following a program? Is that what it is? It's just something following a program. It's not really not real. Not a real thing. Let's clip this and see what I can do for that. Is it a real thing, that AI poetry? I mean, because it feels, the words read real, but there's this thing that's missing from it. And do you feel that? Do you hear it when you hear me read from an AI poem? I mean, I like it because it spits things out fast. I can ask it to make a poem in a style like Charles Bukowski, and it's kind of like Charles Bukowski. Raymond Carver, it's kind of like Raymond Carver. Big Papa E, it's kind of like Big Papa E too. Walt Whitman, maybe. Allen Ginsberg, maybe. Maybe it's like that. But still, there's this emptiness that is there. Do you feel that emptiness? Kind of doing this. Oh, whoop, whoop. It's kind of awakening those colors out there. We don't want it to do that. We're using some Hooker's green. Why do they call it Hooker's green? Just feel silent right now. Off my soapbox of silent energy, silent night, silence. The silence of this mountain path you're walking on. So yeah, I don't know why AI. I don't know. Maybe it's that only you can write poetry that you like. But even if you read other people's poetry, it doesn't feel that. It doesn't feel like it has that empty edge to it. I mean, I'll go pull out some. I think I got some Big Papa E handy here. I know I have one of Big Papa E's poetry books. From folks from my writers group, they said, Bill, you're not allowed to use our work into a chat box. You can't use lines from our work to do that. So, I don't know. I know I have some stuff here. Here we go. This was some lady that I used to hang out with up in Seattle land, Annette Cluth. She signed it on Bill, Our Words Keep Going, 8/20/15. 2015. Did I go see? I must have seen her in 2000. Oh, she sent it to me. That's what it was. Your flowers of regret. Years shine as an eternity, reflections of a broken mirror, bloody fingers play shards of glass with fumbled attempts to ease the pain. Droplets of blood staining porcelain white. Did you pull the shards of my heart from your palms? Can you remember the taste of my love left as the rotted strawberries behind your greenhouse? Praying for release, I sing death, a lost voice calling your name in damnation without the eternal rest. Can you feel the chill of my blood stopping? I will be the crimson flower of your regret. You know, the one by the back step forgotten, lost on the wings of falcons, the ones we used to watch, screeching my demise at your hands. Can you remember me now? You know what? I think let's try an experiment here. Let's go back to that chat box, and I'm going to feed a couple lines into it and see if you can see what I'm talking about. When I talk about that empty edge that exists in AI poetry. So we're going to ask it. Use these lines to write a poem in the style of William James Lindbergh using these prompt lines. Your flowers of regret, years shine as an eternity, reflections of a broken mirror, bloody fingers play shards of glass, praying for release, singing death without the eternal rest. Can you feel the chill of my blood stopping? I will be the crimson flower of your regret. Take one step back, forgotten, lost on the wings of falcons, screeching at my demise by your hands. Do you remember me now? Hi, Mama Sushi. I have my art fair coming up really soon. Here's the flyer here. Okay. Here's what it come up with. Crimson flowers of your regret. Your flowers of regret bloom slowly, petals of apology soaked in the dew of what you never said. Years shine as an eternity, and I am caught in their glare. A ghost blinking in the reflection of a broken mirror. Bloody fingers play shards of glass, each note a prayer for release, not from life, but from the echo that keeps replaying your voice, the way you said my name like it was both a blessing and a curse. Singing death without the eternal rest, I hum the hymn of unfinished endings, a requiem written in lowercase letters. Can you feel the chill of my blood stopping mid-verse? It freezes the air between us, that space you once called love. I will be the crimson flower of your regret, blooming wild in the garden of your sleep, roots twisting through your dreams, thorns whispering all that could have been. Take one step back, forgotten, lost on the wings of a falcon that scream my requiem across an indifferent sky, screeching my demise by your hands? Do you remember me now? Or am I only that aftertaste of guilt? A sigh between lightning and rain, the ghost that lingers in your pulse when the night gets too quiet for forgetting. That's actually quite interesting. That one didn't have that edge that I was talking about. Let's get one of my own poems, and I'm going to feed it right into there. I'm going to take one of my own poems, and we're going to feed it verbatim right into that chat bot, and see what it comes up with. And I'm going to ask it to write it in the name of me, in my own style. I don't think it has my own style. All right, let's do this one here. How about this one? I'm going to read it here. We'll just read it right into the... Okay, let's try it again. Write a poem in the style of William James Lindbergh using this poem as a prompt. Jaded, chromatic obelisk, Sandy lay naked, scissoring summer, traced a finger along bold lines exposing her anatomy, scatter-shot tiles map routes to pleasure, illuminated by neon globes of feminine breath. Summer turned a skeleton key into a tarnished lock, exposing a towering cedar kneeling in equinoctial splendor. Let's see what it comes up with. This will be interesting. Jaded by the chrome ache of summer, a chromatic obelisk rises, silent and sandy, its shadow folded over the body of the day. She lay naked on the edge of thought, scissoring summer's fever with her breath, each exhale a soft rebellion against gravity. I traced a finger along bold lines, exposing her anatomy, not flesh, but architecture. Arches of want, pillars of pulse, veins like back roads leading home. Scattershot tiles of light trembling on her skin, each one a road map to pleasure, illuminated by neon globes of her feminine breath. Electric, eternal, a phosphorescent prayer whispered through glass. Summer turned a skeleton key in time's tarnished lock, and the air gasped, unveiling the hidden temple where a towering cedar knelt, not in defeat, but in equinoctial splendor, balanced between dusk and dawn, salt and soil, memory and motion. In that breathless hinge of eternity, the world forgot its shape, and I, humbled pilgrim of her gravity, became the shadow that worships light. Interesting. Let's try another one. I want to try another one here. maybe I suppose you have to pay for the service to try to train an AI to do something for you. What about this poem, Independence Day? You should go check out that poem, Independence Day. Maybe, you know what, before we go on here, I'm going to go into my, I'm going to link that poem here. Let's go into view the channel of 999 show. That's where we're at. I'm going to go into my videos and we're going to link it right into, we should play it first. Why don't we play it first? You know, it took me like 100 hours to edit this poem together. Independence Day, Don't Look Back. It's this one here.
Were raised to be Republicans. My mama, she was a Christian. My brother and I were raised to be Republicans. Our mama, she was a Christian. She centered on gypsy dreams. Our mama wanted the ways of wildness to wander and to roam. She said that people in America get sick because they live their lives in ignorance. My brother and I were influenced by the Mormons. We heard men call young girls whores. We heard the preachers who said it was right. My brother and I, we used to sneak into each other's houses to talk our doubts and what we really believed.
So hopefully I won't get flagged by the algorithm for using my own content here. But that was a poem that I wrote, in 2010. In 2010. I wrote that poem in 2010. And so that's one of the poems. Oh, wait, I forgot what I was going to do. I was going to... That poem in 2010. And so that's one of the poems. I was going to link it. I was going to link it onto my channel, link it into this chat. So if you wanted to go look at it, of course, there's nobody watching this video, so what the fuck difference does it make, right? No one's watching, so yeah. All right. Okay, let's go look. Let's go find that one. That was Independence Day. This one here. I'm gonna go copy, do a share here. I'm gonna just copy the link. All right. I'm gonna go back in here. Here's the poem. Here's a link. A link to a video poem. Let's put a colon in there and go boom like that. There we go. Should be able to do links here. Okay. That's kind of what, look, get some kind of a weird feedback effect here. All right, now we're back in here. Oh, it won't link it. Oh well, that's fine. So let's go back into the chat GDP, and I'm going to read off that poem. Oh, there it is. It's got it there. Got the hyperlink in place. I'm going to read that poem and see what chat GDP will do for me. Okay, so here's the poem in question. I just got done sharing it to you. There's a link in the chat to the video poem that I did several years, that I did like, what, in 2023? 2023? And this poem is a found poem that I found it in a Seattle Arts magazine that I found on a sidewalk in 2010, and I circled these words in it and created that poem. I did edit it for tense and for the presentness of it, but nevertheless, we're going to ask ChatGPT to rewrite this poem the in my style. So let's do this. Rewrite this poem by William James Lindbergh in the style of William James Lindbergh, using these words. My brother and I were raised to be Republicans. Our mama, she was a Christian. She centered on gypsy dreams. Our mama wanted the ways of wildness, to wander and to roam. She said that people in America get sick because they live their lives in ignorance. My brother and I were influenced by the Mormons. We heard men call young girls whores. We heard the preachers who said it was right. My brother and I used to sneak into each other's houses to talk our doubts and what we really believed. So let's see what it does. This is actually an interesting, okay. A poem by William James Lindbergh in his own style. My brother and I were raised to be Republicans. We were told the flag was holy, that the cross and the Constitution were carved from the same burning wood. Our mama, she was a Christian, but not the Sunday kind. She centered on gypsy dreams, read the weather in her teacup, talked to the wind. It was an old friend who'd forgotten to write back. Our mama wanted the ways of wildness, to wander and to roam, to chase something unnamed through deserts of red dust and prayers that tasted like whiskey. She said that people in America get sick because they live their lives in ignorance. They eat lies for breakfast and call it the body of Christ. My brother and I were influenced by the Mormons. We heard men in white shirts call young girls whores with their eyes, heard preachers say it was right to break the body if it saved the soul. We learned early that holiness had a switchblade smile. So we did what lost boys do. We built our own gospel in secret. My brother and I used to sneak into each other's houses at night to talk our doubts, the kind that make angels stutter. We whispered what we really believed, that God might be lonely, that truth might be dirt under the nails, that faith was just another word, trying to love the world after it's already broken you. Let's have it rewrite it again. Rewrite into a slam poem with punchy landing lines, with punchy landing lines in the style of William James Lindbergh, writing himself add into it his belief that the original sin is a lie of control, and that women were precious to Jesus too. Okay. Here we go. My brother and I were raised to be Republicans, red blood, red states, red hands folded in prayer. We were told the flag was holy, that Jesus voted straight ticket every November, that the cross and the Constitution were the same damn sermon preached in different fonts. But Mama, oh, Mama was a wildfire in a denim skirt. She was a Christian, yeah, but the gypsy kind, the kind that talked to the moon when the church lights went out, who burned sage before supper, who whispered psalms into the wind. She said, "Baby, people in America get sick because they live their lives in ignorance. They swallow dogma like it's penicillin and wonder why the cure keeps killing them." My brother and I, we were influenced by them Mormons, by men with pressed shirts, polished smiles, who called young girls whores and said the Bible backed them up. We heard preachers say it was right. We heard preachers say it was right to bruise the flesh if it saved the soul, but I never saw Jesus raise a hand. I saw him raise the broken. I saw him talk to women like they were sacred temples, not stepping stones to salvation. Women were precious to Jesus too, and that truth burns like bourbon in the back of the throat. She told us that original sin, how Eve ate the fruit and doomed us all to sweat and pain, but I call that story what it is: a lie of control and domination, a leash disguised as a parable. They built a kingdom on the guilt of a woman and called it righteousness, but Mama said, don't you dare let any man tell you you were born wrong. So we built our own gospel, wrote it in the blood of Henry David Thoreau and Thomas Jefferson. We wrote, don't you dare let any man tell you you were born wrong. Quiet and trembling after curfew in the soft hum of midnight, my brother and I would sneak into each other's houses just to speak our doubts out loud. The ones too heavy for daylight, we whispered heresies that sounded a lot like honesty. We said, maybe God isn't angry. Maybe he's just tired. Maybe heaven's a kitchen table and Mama's still there pouring coffee for the sinners and the saints, telling us the truth that no preacher ever would. That love was never a rule book, that women never needed saving, that sin was just the first word men learned to sell after fear. That faith, real faith, is standing up in a broken world and saying, I still believe in kindness. That's the gospel according to my mama, and I'm still preaching it. Well, that's kind of interesting. Yeah, I don't know if AI can write poetry legitimately. It wrote that, yeah. Is it my words? I don't think it was my words. I think it was more like, it sounded more like Big Papa E's words, to tell you the truth. But let's get on with this painting here. Let's just finish it up. You know, we did a big old poetry break. We need to put some more trees in here. Another little stand of trees and some bushes. Another one right over here. One that's kind of off over here like this. What do you think? AI poetry. Yeah, I don't know. If you watch this on the playback, maybe you could tell me about it. What you think about it. Maybe Moon Scarab will come on my channel sometime. We can do poetry or something together. Alright, we're just going to add a few more trees into this. On this hill over here. And I need to add some more water into that brush because the paint's kind of glumpy on it. Came for a painting and you got a poetry reading instead, which is why everybody left me out in the cold to read it for myself. Because poetry is boring, you say. Poetry is boring. No one wants to hear people read poetry into the wind. Poetry painting those words like they were sounds of God beating on the birds of paradise, wings flying, teaching parables and dreams. Teaching parables and dreams. That's what we got. Write this poem in the style of William James Lindbergh. Birds singing in the wind, their voice like angels, beating out rhythms of God's own drums. The gods are crazy. There's more than just one. Every nation on earth creates their own salvation. Moses parted the Red Sea in America. In the East, Buddha begs for spare change. Krishna surfs on a silver board through the clouds. Aliens, gray ones, green ones, reptilian aliens. Are they the gods of humanity? Are they our creators? Did they create us out of love? Did they create us because they needed workers? Is Jesus a god, or is Jesus just an ascended master looking to show us the way through women, through Mary Magdalene, his wife? I look out a cave. Blue sky in the distance. rain up close, but the sun shines through, illuminating a new path to travel, a new path I can see. I paint a picture of a lonely highway looking into the misty mountains, a mountain path full of trees, full of life, full of flowers. And the birds sing like sunshine in the wind. Their songs stream out like the consciousness of the gods. Write that as a slam poem with punchy landing lines in the style of William James Lindbergh. Let's see what it comes up with. All right, let's see what it comes up with. Painting, poetry, that's what we got going on today. It's home again. Birds sing in the wind, their voices like angels, beating out rhythms of ribs of heaven, God's own drums. Boom, boom, ba-boom, ba-boom, ba-boom. A heartbeat made of thunder and feathers, and I say the gods are crazy. There's more than one. Every nation builds its own salvation out of dirt, fear, and the need to belong. Some carve their gods from marble, some from code, some from memory. Every altar hums in a different language, but every prayer ends in the same breath. Moses parted the Red Sea in America, and we call it manifest destiny. Buddha begs for spare change in the East, cup out, smile soft as the rich walk past with enlightenment tucked in their briefcases. Krishna surfs on a silver board through the clouds, laughing at gravity, riding the static of creation like a punk rock deity who with paint on his hands and music in his veins. And me, I'm standing there wondering, what if the gods have green skin and compound eyes? What if they came down in ships of light and left us a spark in our DNA? Did they make us out of love because they needed more workers, harvesters, believers to keep their machinery running smooth? Are we the experiment or their children? And what about that Jesus? Is he God? Or is he an ascended master just trying to show us the way through the soft hands of women, through Mary Magdalene, his wife, his equal, his mirror in the dust? What if the secret to the kingdom wasn't behind a pulpit of shame, but in her eyes of passion? I look out from my cave of doubt, blue sky in the distant, rain up close, but the sun still dares to shine through. It splits the storm in half like a revelation. I see a new path, a lonely highway twisting into misty mountains, a road made of questions and a song. Trees bow in green alleluias. Flowers riot in their own perfume, gospel, and the birds. The birds, the birds, the birds, they sing like sunshine in the wind. Their songs stream out like the consciousness of God, pouring through me, pouring through you, pouring through everything that they ever dared to live, that they ever dared to make. And I whisper to the wind, maybe heaven isn't home. Maybe home is whatever the divine finally stops running and lets us catch up. Huh. Interesting. Maybe we can save that. I did. Interesting. What do you think about that? I don't think it's anything. Still wasn't written like I wrote it, no. Let's just finish this painting. A couple more trees, maybe, yeah. Maybe another one up front here, but taller. Kind of here. Comes up. Now it's kind of looking like those telephone poles. Like in the Lonely Highway. But it does kind of frame up the path, though, don't you think? I know you didn't kind of stay till from the beginning, but no one's gonna watch this. What am I even bothered? What do I bother doing these videos when no one is actually watching? No one, once you start doing the poetry, people just run away. Why do you think that poetry is so boring? Or just like not something you want to listen to? I just really want to know why. Why is poetry the death of a channel? You start doing poetry and your channel just fades away into a sunset. If you want a sunset, a YouTube channel, just start doing poetry. That's what it feels like, No one has an answer, do they? No one can answer that question. I think I want... Do I have a red? I do have a red. And this is a brilliant red. We're using golden colors right here. Yeah. I mean, I like the feeling that I'm getting. It just feels great. In this path here, there's a tree coming right over here. I think we might come and do a little bit of this Azileron Crimson. In Hungary, mentioned that. I need to do a show on that, don't I? Why does poetry suck? Why does poetry on YouTube suck? I know if Mama Sushi were looking in, she would disagree with my statement when I say that poetry doesn't suck because she likes poetry. And I like poetry too. There's lots of people who do, but why does it not really work here? Why does it work, with a poetry but it doesn't work on YouTube. Now, of course, if you got a big name, if you're like Taylor Molly or you're Big Papa E, or you're like some, who put some other big name in there. Matt Gano, he's an old slam poet. You're like a Matt Gano guy, or let's see, who else? I don't know any of the newer ones anymore. I knew a lot of older slam poets. Let's just go look who are current slam poets today. Let's see. Let's go ask the Chat GDP. What are the names of current slam poets spinning and competing on the stages of America today? The top #1 Grand Slam poetry winners in America. What are their names? Who is doing slam today? Let's see if it comes up with any names. Who's doing slam today? It has like what? The founders. Okay, Patricia Smith, Mighty Mike McGee, Maya Del Valle, Ken I don't know who these people are, but let's ask. Who are the champion slam poets in Portland, Oregon, and in Seattle, Washington in 2025? So we have someone from Park Rose High School. That's in Portland. That's the youth slam. So there must not be any slam going on in Portland these days. So it doesn't really have any names for who's going on. Sydney Frost. Sydney Frost. I don't know. Oh, no, I don't know. It doesn't. That's not helping me. So you got these new people out there who are spinning words and so forth. I mean, there's like Dwayne Kirby Jensen, but he's not a slam poet. He is he's a poet, and I want to have him on my channel sometime. He runs an open mic up in Everett, Washington, and you have like Simon Oculus. I don't know if Simon Oculus is doing poetry anymore. I think I'm gonna go to the liner brush and run it and do this differently here. Let's do a different color. Let's come in and do the red. And we'll run and put some green over it. Just get it to... But yeah, that's interesting. I don't have any answers. But if you're just looking at the court of public opinion, and that's kind of what I'm looking at. In the court of public opinion, why does poetry not work on YouTube? I mean, yeah, okay, if you're, like doing on like the Def Jam scene, or this tree sucks. This tree sucks too. Kind of like that red. I'm gonna come and do some green on the foreground. Well, poetry, and as far as like poetry on YouTube, it kind of sucks the same way that art on YouTube sucks. Doing live art also sucks on YouTube because it takes so long to get someplace, and and the attention spans of people are just not willing to go on that journey. That's what it kind of seems to be. If you kind of agree with that statement, poetry sucks because art sucks. And then AI art's so easy. But even AI poetry sucks even more than stuff you write. Hmm. That's just what it seems. I could just be like completely deluded though. It's the wrong time of the day, and but it's just, I guess it just takes a lot of work to chew into a poem, to chew into it, or even into anything, right? What say you? What do you think? I really want to know what you think of that question. I'm certainly not going to ask Chat GDP of it because I know what it will say, and to me, I will find it a complete waste of time to ask the chatbot that question. It may be that not all poetry sucks. It's just that my poetry sucks. No, I can accept that. I can accept the fact that my poetry sucks. It's boring. It's boring, and it doesn't mean anything. I don't know. It might be my art sucks too. That could be as well. Person comes in, compliments the painting. Is it really good, or is it just that that's just what you do? Maybe it's just because you're a fan of my channel and you kind of generally like what I'm doing, but that doesn't mean everything that you do is any good. All right? I mean, this is one way to make trees. It's not necessarily the best way. Kind of the fast and dirty way. So much for me making my 10 cards for today. I was thinking about doing a Tools of Fortune reading later, but I don't think I have the time for it. And that's exactly what the cards told me too when I did a tarot reading on myself, on whether I should start back doing readings today. Just wasn't ready. I'm not ready because I got too much to do, and that's what's going on. All right. Do you think this is a cool painting here? it turned into being one that is doing both. I mean, yeah. Maybe it's cool. I don't know. I certainly enjoyed doing this live stream today. I can tell you that. I enjoyed doing it. I enjoyed doing the chat box poetry. Even though the first ones that we did, the poems had this hard mechanical edge to it. I think that's what I think is what it is. This hard mechanical edge. And 999 show, like and sub if you like my content. If not, that's okay. I'm going to say we are the mountain path. We are time to go. I'm going to sign my name. Okay, mixed media, mixed mediums. I gotta go. Thank you very much. Painted on the mountain path. Mountain path. Painted on 10, 26, 25, live on 999 show. I gotta go turn the TV on for someone. Thank you very much for tuning in, if even for a few seconds. Here is my painting for today. I think it looks pretty cool. What do you think?